Yo, what up guys, I'm Sammy and welcome back to the Outsole Brothers channel, and this is my performance review of the Nike Lebron 19 Low. So this shoe is going for 160 bucks, pretty damn expensive, but way cheaper than the actual LeBron 19, his signature shoe, $40 cheaper actually. So if you guys do want to cop, I'll try to leave in the free link in the description box. There is a red colorway available and also like a orange, kind of like mango colorway, which looks sick on the US site. So again, links are below, but let's get it started off with the Tracciones. And we have the same exact traction pattern as the LeBron 19, but in this colorway, it is a translucent outsole, right? And how does it perform? So when I first got it, it had actually a pretty good bite on the wood floors, and then on the basketball court on the first day it was actually pretty damn nice, right? But then on that first day it was a pretty clean court somehow, right? But right now it's pretty damn hot. It's becoming summer, right? So it's very dry, super dusty and dirty on the court right now, and I was not having a good time. It was sliding out. It wasn't sliding out like crazy though. It was just like it was just annoying, you know. It just wasn't a good bite, right? And the dust was extremely hard to wipe off, right? So that definitely did suck, but then I kept playing in it and got a little bit better and got better and better, but it's still not amazing on a dusty court, right? But on a clean court, you're gonna have a great time. It has a really good bite actually. It has a little bit of a squeak as well. It's not super loud though. So clean court, you're gonna have a good time. It's just you're gonna need to break it in just a tiny bit and it gets better and better. On dust, however, it just doesn't get good. I mean, it was really bad at first and it got a tiny bit better, but it's still like, I don't want to play on a dusty court with the LeBron 19 Low, right? So like I said, you're gonna be sliding around, nothing dangerous, but it's just not a good bite. And then the wipe on this like nub pattern is just like, it's hard to wipe off, probably because of this like very close together pattern that just traps dust and dirt inside of the nubs or in between the nubs, right? So it's just a really hard wipe. So if you're playing on a dusty court, it's probably not the best option. And also if you're playing on an outdoor court, definitely not a great option as well. The nubs are very small and they're very easily moved with my fingers. So it doesn't seem like it's gonna be very durable on an outdoor court. So for the most part, I had a pretty good time unless it was a dusty court. And like I said, I was playing on a dusty court for a lot of the time. Alright, moving on to the heel to toe transition, right? So here in the heel, we got a nice curved shape, and also of course we have a crazy air unit which allows for a lot of compression. So it's super smooth here in the heel, I like it. And then here in the forefoot, we have a lot of curve and a lot of forefoot flex and midfoot flex, look at that. But actually, my arches didn't hurt really at all when I was playing the LeBron 19 Low. I feel like it's because the arch support is good, probably. The torsion support wasn't the best, but my arches actually didn't hurt surprisingly, so I really didn't have any issues with that. And the overall heel to toe transition, when you're running down the court doing heel dominant strides, it's super smooth. It's kind of like a rocking chair, you know? It's a very rounded shape. Alright, moving on to the cushioning setup. As you guys can see, we have a very large volume air unit here in the heel. It has a lot of compression, just like the LeBron 19. And also like all the previous LeBrons, like the LeBron 18, 17, all the ones with the crazy air unit, there's a lot of compression and all that, right? And then of course we have full length react, but here in the heel, it's very thin just because it has to be on top of this air unit. So you don't really feel any type of compression or anything from the react in the heel, but in the forefoot, it's actually pretty damn nice. You have a nice soft sensation underneath your foot for that underfoot cushioning, and also it's not crazy bouncy, it's more subtle, right? So that feels nice, but one thing that I absolutely hated about it is the court feel. The court feel is absolutely horrendous, and I'm playing in a lot of shoes, right? And I'm switching them out. And when I was playing the LeBron 19, if I remember correctly, I wasn't testing a whole bunch of shoes. I think I was just testing the LeBron 19, right? But when I was testing the Low, I'm playing in like the KD 15, also testing the KD 14 as well, just to compare those, right? And I'm switching out of those shoes. I also really like to play in the Curry 9 right now, so those are very low to the ground, right? So when I switch from the Curry 9 or the KD 15 or 14 into the LeBron 19, I'm like, yo, this is so high up off the ground, right? But of course, that's just something that I noticed when I switch the shoes. The court feel is definitely something that I feel like I get used to. So it's not a huge deal after like a couple of games of playing in it. I'm just like, oh, it's like, I'm used to it now, you know? But when I did that initial switch, it's just like really high up off the ground, right? So you're gonna be a lot taller. I guess that's a good thing, right? But if you want court feel, of course, LeBrons are never a good option. LeBron's never had good court feel. But in place of the bad court feel, we have good impact protection, right? So heel strikes, you're gonna be good to go. This air unit is gonna absorb all of that impact. And the React is soft here in the forefoot, so landing on your forefoot super hard, you're gonna be good to go as well. It's soft, it's comfortable, and it's a fun cushioning setup to play in. But for me personally, I like to have a more responsive cushioning setup. And of course, this is like better than the LeBron 19, you know, but it's just the air unit is a little too much for me personally. So if you want something crazy with a lot of compression and all that, this is a great cushioning setup for you. If you want something a little bit more subtle, or actually a lot more subtle and responsive, this probably isn't the best option for you. All right, moving on to the materials. So in the LeBron 19 low, here in the forefoot, we have like this patent leather in this colorway, right? And it feels very supportive, and it's not super thin, but also it's not super thick. It doesn't feel very bulky or anything. It just has that old school feel, right? And it doesn't stretch at all too, so it's a supportive material here in the forefoot. And here in the midfoot, we have like a very open mesh material. As you guys can see, my finger through this mesh material, super thin, allows for a lot of airflow as well. For the tongue, we have pretty minimal padding, to be honest, and not a whole lot. And also, this tongue is a half booty construction tongue. It goes, it connects to this material that goes underneath all of this like mesh, right? And then here in the heel, we have a very nice set of Achilles pads, very foamy. It's like a memory foam. It feels great on the Achilles, and also helps improve on the lockdown as well. So yeah, I mean, for 160 bucks, I really have no issues with the materials at all. I mean, I like the leather. There's some of the other colorways have an actual leather material. In this colorway, it's like a patent leather. I like the mesh. It's very, very thin. I like this overall textile material underneath it as well. And it's not super bulky. You know, honestly, there's not a whole lot of foam, surprisingly, right? It's really minimal here in the midfoot. Forefoot, it gets a little bit thicker because of the patent leather, but it's not crazy bulky or anything, like I said. And I do like the extra Achilles pads. It doesn't feel bulky or anything either here in the ankle area. So surprisingly, it feels great on foot. It feels supportive. And for the price, I feel like the material quality is pretty damn nice. So the overall materials I liked here in the LeBron 19 low. Alright, moving on to the fit. I'm a true to size, and it fits me extremely well, right? So my toes go pretty much right to the edge of the shoe. And also, look at how freaking narrow it is, guys. Look at that. Look at how pointy it is, like at the edge of the forefoot. So it's extremely narrow. And widthwise, it was squeezing my foot a little bit, right? It wasn't to the point where I was getting needles or anything, but it was pretty damn narrow. So be careful if you have a wide foot. And also, here in the toe box, it's an extremely snug fit, and it doesn't stretch out at all, right? Because it's a patent leather, and all the other like colorways have a leather material, like I said. So I don't think those are gonna stretch out all too much either, especially when you break it in and play in it more. So the fit that you get, like when you first get it, is a fit that you're gonna stay with through the lifetime of the shoe. So yeah, I mean, overall, I really liked it. It's a very nice, snug fit. But if you want a roomier fit, or you have a wide foot, I would suggest probably going up a full size. I don't think a half size up would be good, just because of how narrow and snug it is. So just be careful on that. And of course, if you can try it on before you buy it, that's always recommended. All right, moving on to the support and lockdown, I had zero issues. Of course, it is a LeBron, right? So for lateral containment, I'm good to go. So here in the forefoot, we have this rubber material coming up, acting as a sidewall. And like I said, this patent leather it's a very supportive material, right? And then here in the heel, we have the React foam coming up, acting as a sidewall, and we have an internal TPU heel counter, it feels like. So lateral containment, I had zero issues with. My foot was not coming out of the footbed really at all. And also lateral stability was good. You know, even though you're super high up off the ground, I didn't really have any like bad issues with lateral stability, especially comparing it to like the LeBron 18, 17, like his older models, just because look at how wide it is. There is a crazy outrigger. It protrudes out like a lot here in the forefoot, and also here in the heel, which I think is really good, right? So if you look at the other models like the LeBron 18 and LeBron 18 low, I actually have it right here. Like, look at the difference in width. So here in the forefoot, it's a good amount wider, right? Look at that. It's a good, like, what, 7 millimeters? But not only in the forefoot, we have a difference in width in the heel, right? And because of this air unit, and because you're so high up off the ground here in the heel, I feel like it's a really good redesign here in the LeBron 19 that they made it wider, and also the PSI is a little bit higher, it feels like, as well. So it feels really stable. I really had no issues with lateral instability like I did in the other shoes. So the LeBron 19, you're gonna be good to go for lateral stability. Of course, it is a low top, so you're not gonna get any ankle support. All right, moving on to the weight of the shoe. I mean, it's a LeBron. LeBrons are always heavy. So, I mean, it does have React though. React is a very lightweight foam, but if I remember correctly, it was pretty damn heavy, like 14 ounces, I think. 13.97 ounces, so basically 14 ounces. Let's check the other pair. Yeah, 14.14 ounces. So let's just say 14 ounces. Yeah, that's pretty damn heavy. Does it feel heavy? Yeah, it feels on the heavier side of things. Does it feel responsive? Yeah, I mean, when I was playing on dusty court though, I really didn't enjoy playing in it just because I would slide out and it was a really hard wipe. So I never really got a good bite, you know what I mean? But when I was playing on a clean court, I really had zero issues. I had actually a good time playing in it. I enjoyed the crazy cushion as well. I liked the impact protection and the materials felt like minimal. So it's not the most lightweight shoe, but it feels, you feel pretty quick when you're playing in it on a clean court, right? As far as the ventilation goes, yeah, not the best. I mean, you have this open mesh for this like white mesh material over everything else, but also you have like this textile material underneath all of that. So as far as airflow goes, there's not a whole lot here in the LeBron 19 Low, so it's pretty damn hot. All right, moving on to the aesthetics, I like it. I definitely feel like it looks a lot better than the actual LeBron 19. And this colorway is also really dope. You know, if you guys didn't know, this Fruity Pebbles colorway, the air bubble is actually UV activated. So when you go in the sun, this clear air bubble turns purple. So that's actually a nice feature, and the overall aesthetics I feel like looks really, really good. So tell us what you guys think of the aesthetics down in the comment section below. So wrapping things up, the LeBron 19 Low, is it going to be in my rotation? No. Not a huge fan of LeBron just because of the heavier weight, and also like I don't like being high up off the ground that much, right? But of course that's just my personal taste. But if you want a shoe with a lot of impact protection and you don't mind like a higher up cushioning setup, you don't need crazy traction either, and the support and all that is really, really good, then you'll be fine in this shoe, right? I'm not saying it's a bad shoe or anything. I definitely feel like there is an audience for the LeBron 19 Low. But if you're a guard, it's probably not the best option, right? And like I said, it's probably not going to be my rotation really at all. But I feel like it's a good shoe for like bigger dudes. Like if you're posting up and stuff like that, it's probably a good option, right? But anyways, that about concludes my review of the LeBron 19 Low. Again, if you guys do want to cop, I'll leave an affiliate link in the description box. But that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.